Well, I remember Glenn Bakken. He was a staff sergeant. He was a platoon guide. He was the odd guy in the front that set the pace for, you might say, for the platoon. He wasn't a big, tall man, but he could walk fast, and we liked him to lead us off because to go to the rear, we said, "Come on, Glenn, let's go," and he'd take off. He had a good smile, and everybody liked him. He had a great personality amongst men, and he showed me a picture of his wife and baby daughter, and he said, "That's what I'm going to go home to." He didn't make it. It's the day I was hit or the day after. I was in the hospital at the time, and I asked about Glenn. The guy says, "Was a gun attacked?" And he was hit. And he went down with a little moan. He's dead. Terrible. But he was so well liked in the company. I don't know. I don't know whatever happened about it.
Hey guys, this is Rishi. You know, it costs a substantial amount of money to travel and interview these World War II heroes full time. And as much as I hate interrupting their incredible stories, I do need to thank CuriosityStream for supporting us on our mission. CuriosityStream is a subscription streaming platform that offers thousands of documentaries and nonfiction titles for some of the world's best filmmakers, including exclusive originals. They have a lot of content about war, and I recommend a documentary called Bombing War, which uses colored archival footage to show the devastating impact of total area bombing, both for those in the air and those on the ground. Please go to curiositystream.com/legends of World War II for unlimited access to the world's top documentaries and nonfiction series. Please use promo code Legends of World War II and you will save 25% off their subscription. And now back to the heroes.
I never wrote parents of anybody that was killed. The only one I felt bad about, not right about, was Bill Lewis. Another nice guy. Oh yeah, Bill Lewis. Terrible. We was in Germany, and we was trucking us up to the trucking off point. I was in a cab with this colored driver, and he said, "Boy, this combat ain't bad." And I said, "Oh yeah." And we unloaded, and Bill Lewis, he's off, and I said, Bill took his helmet off and combed his hair, and I says, "Well, where you going? Some kind of a party or something?" I had some kind of a smart remark. He had a nice smile and just quiet. Just laughed. And we went into the attack for this Germany it was. This big statue of this early times, was this big fight with the 12th to 13th century, I don't know, way back. There's a big war going on then. Anyway, we started an attack, got in attacked. We got fired on. And I see the guy running, and I throwed up my rifle, but that damn helmet flopped over my eyes. I couldn't see, so he got away. Anyway, Bill was the first scout. He was right, he was close to me. And we got pinned down. I said, pinned down, so we pinned down for a second there. And I said to Bill, I says, "You okay?" He says, "Yeah, I'm all right." And then there's some more fire and automatic fire, and he killed him. Shot him in the side of the head. Killed him. Nice guy, pleasant. I liked him. And we left him because we had to keep right on going. And they gave me a telephone, one of them walkie-talkies. And this German popped up and swung up to shoot him. And that thing was on my arm, and I couldn't get my rifle straightened out. You know, it was flopping around with that thing on my arm. And he gave up. But he's just a kid, so couldn't say nothing. But I set level on him, but he jumped up and quit. And that's it. Detmont, I think, Detmont, Germany. And I wish I could have wrote a letter to his folks, but I didn't. And after that, the fight was over. That night, we come back and picked up his body. And the sergeant said, "Touched him. He said he's still warm." Nice young fellow. Yeah, because he come up to our outfit. He went into attack and he got hit, lightly hit. He was gone a few weeks. But he come back. He had bad luck. But he wouldn't argue. Just a nice personality. He's from Alabama. He's from Alabama. I don't remember the name. They like that's a joke. These two guys is a foxhole and this artillery fire coming over. And this guy was all upset. "Oh," he said, "oh, Jesus." I said, "Well, what's wrong?" He said, "Can't you hear them shells?" "Yeah." I said, "So what?" "Well, can't you hear what they're saying?" "Yeah." "Well, what are they saying?" He says, "You ain't going back to Alabama." That's a joke they used to say. Kid them Alabama boys. Yeah. But that's a joke. Laughed about it. Yeah, that's crude humor that we had. Yeah.
I'm sorry about your friend Bill Lewis.
Oh, he was a young fella, younger than me. I think he was younger than me. Just a bad luck. He wasn't, and he didn't have much combat experience. Every time he got in combat, he got hit. Got back, I think he's hit twice lately, so it took him back, and he's gone a couple of weeks. He'd come back. Oh, I said, Bill, you're back. Yeah, it's.
How far was he from you when he got hit that day?
30 feet, 25, 30 feet.
And was he behind anything? Or?
Well, we was in a wooded area. We hit the ground and we lay there. There's a burst of automatic fire, machine pistol, and killed him. Then he got up to go, he was laying there dead. It's, it's hard to, but all young fellas, life ahead of them, snuffed out over some damn fool war. If you're in infantry, you're just cannon fodder. No, they don't. I don't think the generals give a damn much. Oh, you lost 10 or 15 men. Well, that's too bad. It's the guys you live with every day.
Could you tell us about some of the patrols that you went on, some of the combat patrols?
Well, there wasn't too many. When you're moving a lot, you don't. It's when you're in a big holding position and things is unsettled. Then they try to, like it was in Melbourne at the Bulls, they were just trying to find out what was going on, you know. And I did go on a couple of patrols that didn't mount anything, but they was always trying to find out something. We didn't go on a patrol. We just went into attacked, and at Melbourne, it failed. We had to fall back. We held our position for a while, lost a couple of good men.
When you say lost a couple good men?
Well, platoon sergeants. Mortar shell took them out. Killed a good. Trying to think of this platoon sergeant's name. He was a nice guy. He was a southerner with a southern accent, a soft voice, good looking guy, handsome man. And I made a mistake one day. One of these old sergeants I knew him from way back. He says, I go up to him, he says, hey, he said to me, he says, you tell Beauty I want to talk to him. Oh, Beauty? Ho, 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 ho. I thought that was funny. So here I come. I come up to Wolford. What the hell? I said, hey, Beauty. Sergeant So wants to see you. Holy God. Them blue eyes turned to iron and steel cold, and he said in the hardest voice, don't you ever call me that again. Never. Oh, that was it. He scared the hell out of me. Boy, he turned, mad. I never said anything like that again to him, because he was the way I was in that graveyard I was shooting at the German. He had the nicest, softest voice, southern voice. I think he could charm any girl. He had the smoothest way of talking. Boy, when I said Beauty, his voice is cold. His eyes, ooh. I scared the hell out of me, I'll tell you. But he got killed.
Were you with them when the mortar came in?
Just a little ways away. We went and attacked in the woods off of Melbourne, and it took mortar, just fired mortars at us. And when he was back behind us, three sergeants was getting ideas what they're going to do. And shell come in and killed him and like wounded two other platoon sergeants. All nice guys. Calvin Bullard, yeah. Very handsome man. Southern boy with a southern accent. Very pleasant. Nice man.
Can you tell us about Calvin Bullard?
Well, he's a guy. He had a dry humor. We was one night, we was up on line, and I think it was in France, way back close to Germany, or in Germany, somewhere in that area. And it was nighttime. We had sound-powered telephones, and I had a sound-powered telephone, and he called me up. He says, "How's things going?" "Oh, I'm pretty quiet." He says, "What do you think old Jody is doing with your girlfriend?" He kind of needled me, "Oh, yeah," I says, "Well, what can you say?" He knew he was needling me a little bit. But that nice voice, he had such a pleasant voice. But he could, yeah, he was quite a guy. We was taking this town in Germany. Well, in fact, they kicked us out. Our flanks didn't come up. Anyway, got into this town. Now, we were in attack. They come up to town. I come into the cemetery. Can you imagine a place to fight a war in a cemetery? In open graves, and I ducked behind a tombstone, and read the guy's name off. And the platoon sergeant was ahead of me, and I come up to him. He says, he's mad. He said a couple of them were shooting at me, and I got one, he says, but the other, I got away. He told me to go back and get that light machine gun to spray that area. Well, I did, but I come back, he was already gone. When I come up behind this building, a big building, and there's a road on each side of it. I don't say a big road, like a farm road for a trail, like. And I come out and I go around this building and look out. I looked out and there's a bunch of guys there. There's a tank there coming. So holy Christ! So I went the other end. The tank moved up and come up that side. I says, "Oh, this is bad news." So I run back and I run across the road, the trail. I got up with the other fellows I knew. And then there he was in his house. Well, we cleared the house and we're waiting to move on, and I hear this tank. And I looked out the window, here come the muzzle. I said, holy crap. But we had guys upstairs with bazookas on each side of the street. And we stopped the tank. And they had the Germans. Now we had the Germans on the street and we had the buildings. It was quite a firefight. There's a little shooting going on. And of course the tank was knocked out. There was a German that was moaning and groaning in the street. And a guy says, "What should I do?" The lieutenant, you could hear him. I could hear him from across the street. Before I guess the lieutenant could say it, the guy fired his rifle and he said, "Never mind." And that was the end of that. But the funny things happen,
Can you tell us more about the firefight? What were you doing, sir, during all this?
Oh, yeah, the same place. Now, I'm sitting in this doorway here, not in the doorway of a room, the doorway of a room. And the door went out the back, out the back, the door. And Murphy, he was standing in the doorway and he reached for his rifle like that. And the German shot him right between the eyes. The bullet went between his helmet liner and his helmet, and it went out the top of his helmet. Knocked him down. Holy Christ, I says. And first thing Murphy done was grab his helmet, put his on, and it had that piece of metal sticking out. Murph, it didn't hurt him, knocked him down, but it didn't draw no blood. Jesus, I said, how can the guy be so lucky? And then we had to fall back. Well, I fell back to where this one building was. Just a couple of us guys left there. The captain and me and a couple other guys I remember. And they called in artillery. And the one artillery shell hit short. And the other one cleared the next round, cleared the building. And there was lots of artillery fire. And we headed back for our own lines. The next day was I think it was Thanksgiving. I was in a foxhole, and the guy says, "Well, here's what's left of the dinner." I had a little piece of white meat. I was says, "That's good enough." But that's what happened. Before this, when we started the attack, we started out the attack. We were going to go ride tanks. So we got on a tank. And the tank started to move out, and they run over one of our own mines. And I was some tankers, but there's now that tank says, get off. And I slid off. An 88 coming, blew that tank all the way, shot it up. Tank, just not quick. No, I just slid off the tank and nonchalantly, walked away. Wham! I had that, blew the tank up.
How far were you from the tank when it got hit?
Oh, I don't know. Not too far. I don't remember. 50 feet, maybe. At Aachen, they had them tiger teeth, them things, so cement blocks sticking up, block tanks from getting through, or what's they stopped them. Dragon teeth, yeah, that's what they call them. I remember now. But there was, but then the house, the blockhouses was they covered each other, so it's pretty hard. You had to get around them to get to the back door, and you could get into them. But yeah. But we took well, it was a pretty hard fight there. We fought through Spooky Hollow. The German looking for some of his troops, the guy shot him and left him laying out there in the dark. And he moaned and groaned all night, so they called the place Spooky Hollow. He died finally during the night.
You heard that?
Yeah.
Did you?
No, nobody's going to go out there in the dark and do anything about it. No way.
Did you see the action where he was actually hit?
No, I didn't see it. I was a little ways by. I heard it. Oh, just moaning and groaning. Nobody shot.
So this is the second one you heard, right? Because the
Yeah.
first one...
Yeah. But, it's funny, We was on a holding position on a little high ground. And the Germans, they'd come out at night with their burp guns, automatic pistols, and fire shots at us in the dark to keep us awake. It went on for 3 or 4 nights. You would get up and ready, thought they was attacked, One night, he started burp, just fired a few rounds. All of a sudden, M1 went off, bang. No more firing. No more hostile firing. No more, after that, no firing. No harassing. They left us alone. Some guy down the line got sick and tired of it. It was funny. Heard that burp gun firing, and all of a sudden, that M1 went off, and that was the end of it. No more. Funny, That's the funny part. That's the funny part you like to remember, I never threw a hand grenade. I never was in a position. And because you'd throw them over a roof, and the Germans would throw these peasant mashers put a handle back over the roofs. So that wasn't a good idea. So anyway, this one guy come up, he's a new guy, come up, and we took a house, I don't know where it was. He pulled a grenade out, took a grenade, pulled the pin out of where this house, took the house, and what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, throw it in the basement. He threw it in the basement. We went on to the next place. There was, the guys come behind us, there was 3 German soldiers in the basement. Never touched them. What an army. We was going through this little town, this was just a street, and I was going to go into attack. We were on the way to go into attack. We was walking single file through this little village. And I looked down the street, it was down the, call them streets, there was dirt roads. And here come a Jeep. And the sign right in front of me that said, U.S. minefield. And I said, geez, that's kind of funny. About that time, that Jeep hit the mine. Blew the hell out of everything. Of course, I was pretty close, but I think a piece of something hit me on the light pack I was carrying. I drove in towards the building, I said. And of course, let's go, keep going, then, keep going. That's all he said. We was going to do the attack, so we couldn't stop. So I don't ever know whatever happened. Don't not kill them 2 guys in the Jeep. But that's a funny thing, you see this Jeep coming towards you in a minefield. It says minefield, U.S. minefield, and here they're in it. But they probably come around from some other way to come up the street and didn't know it.
It was an American Jeep.
Yeah, American Jeep. 2 GIs in it. Blew the hell out of everything. There's a lot of funny things happened, Taking towns and I was standing in the doorway at nighttime on this long, narrow town, and a motorcycle comes down the street from behind. German motorcycle with a German soldier on it. What the hell's he doing there at night, What the hell's that? I let him go by. Well, I don't want to shoot at the nighttime because the Germans at the other side of the street, so I didn't know where they were. You know. That's funny. God, here come a car. Germans in it. I said, well, damn, what's going on here? They went down the street. We mined the street, and they blew them up. We didn't get out. We caught them. We finally figured out something. But that was the funniest things happened nighttime.
From your position, could you see the?
No, just the explosion was just down around the corner. The explosion, I could see it.
And did it get the motorcycle and the car?
No, the motorcycle was gone. The car didn't make it. But it was funny things like that. You know, standing in this doorway in the nighttime and the flare went off and the Germans creeping down the street on the roof. I thought I was going to take a shot at him, but he ducked down behind the other side of the roof. Funny things. Funny things. That's when it was in the attack on the 13th January. That's when my BAR jabbed on me, and the captain, he's a replacement because Captain Shaw was hurt, and he got it shot up pretty bad, and I didn't have no gun, so I helped the medic. I seen him laying there, and he didn't look good. His color looked bad. I thought, oh, he wasn't with us. Anyway, we had little bears coming. We carried him back to the aid station. Of course, then I got a rifle, and I started back with 3 other guys. One was a medic, and of course, we drawn water fire. So we dodged into the trees, and a water shell went off, and I got hit in the leg. And the other guys, 3 guys, all hit the ground, but I stood up. I got hit in the leg. And the medic, I said to the doc, Doc, I got hit. He says, where? I says, in the leg. Can you stand on it? I says, yeah. Well, I said, they ain't broke. So we went back to the aid station. I got shipped out. I don't know whatever happened to the other guys.
What do you remember about the pain from the shrapnel?
It didn't hurt. That's the funny thing. It didn't hurt. It didn't go all the way through. One had 2 pair of pants to go through and long underwear. I guess that kind of slowed it down. But it just kicked my leg out for me, and so I went back to the aid station, got shipped back to the hospital. And I kept that hospital. The doctor operated on me, and he took, I heard it clunk in the pan, that piece of shrapnel. There's a chunk about the size of your thumb, about that size. And I kept it. He says, you want it? I said, yeah, I'll keep it. But I kind of, so I spent a month or so in a hospital healing. But I felt good about got over with. I didn't have to worry about that no more. But they sent me back up to my unit.
Can you tell us about any experiences you had against the German Luftwaffe?
Oh yeah, once we was preparing to go down to Malmedy, and we was behind this hedgerow, and the trucks was there, and the guys on the ground. And I was in the back of the truck, and this black fellow, there was mounted on the cab of the truck a 50 caliber machine gun. And I was standing right alongside of him. I was in the back of the truck, but right alongside of him. And unbeknownst to us, with all these guys on the ground miling around, going to get on trucks, and he was talking. And this German Luftwaffe pilot, he must have seen us from some way off, and he flew down right on the ground, and he come over this hedgerow to strafe us, but he was just over just a little bit. And when he come over that hedgerow, that black fellow, that 50 caliber, laid it right to him. I was standing right alongside of him, watching them bullets hitting that engine. Of course, it was quick, but he really put it onto him. And of course, and the other guys on the ground were shooting at him and shooting rifles, the guy shooting pistols, because he's right down on the ground, you might say. And he flew on the left, he started to smoke, his engine started to smoke. He went out of sight.
I'm surprised he was still able to fly.
Huh?
I'm surprised he was still able to fly.
Well, he was out to machine gun us, because he seen us, and we didn't see him coming till he cleared that hedge, and he was going to machine, but he was just off to one side a little bit. He couldn't hit us, but that black fellow with that machine gun was watching for him. That was his job. He nailed him. But that guy with the pistol, he knocked him down. That's how we said it. But that guy, that machine gun, them bullets was going right into the engine. I said, what I can't do? Well, I didn't do nothing but watch. And he knocked him down. I don't know, he had a wreck. There must have been a wreck, because he couldn't get up to parachute out. He hit the ground. That probably killed him. Magdeburg is a big city. And when I was off at a distance, I looked at it and said, man, this is big. And we got to it, it was all bombed out. All the buildings was bombed. People was living in the basements. And then we was going down the street, and this fellow was on the other side of the street from me. He's a Italian fellow, Heavyset, big smile on him. He's always smiling, nice things. He's a nice guy. And he was new in the outfit. Anyway, a German in the house up ahead of us, he seen. I didn't see him, because I think he's on my side of the street. Shot across the street at this fellow. Hit him in the stomach, or in that area. And instead of just up and shooting, he just, hey, put his hand up to the guy, to, like he's going to say, quit, give up. He didn't. And the guy shot him and run. And he fell down. medics took him back, and some fellows went to the hospital. His friends went to the hospital and seen him and said, "Oh, he's doing good." And they went the next day and they seen him. He died. For what cause, I don't know. It's a bullet wound killed him, but what inside of him, whatever killed him, but he died from it. Nice guy, just big smile on his face, good natured. It took us 2 days to take the town. And that's when this other guy got shot in the hand.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, we was moving house to house. And I run out in the street thinking I was alone, but he come out of a doorway somewhere right in front of me, just a couple steps in front of me. And this guy with a machine pistol cut down on us, and he got hit in the hand. I don't know if it hit his rifle or not, but he didn't fall, but we ducked into the doorway. And because he was there swearing, and I got to look at his house, see if yours was in it, I couldn't tend to his wound. After I looked into clearing the house, the lieutenant come in and took care of him, and I continued on. Well, my dad was badly wounded in World War I. Okay, but he never talked about it. I never talked about it. We never said anything much. Anyway, coming home, I come off the train in the morning, didn't say nothing, I was coming home. And, of course, being in uniform, and what they used to call that stuff on your chest.
Ribbons?
No, we didn't call them ribbons, we called them fruit salad. Sergeant stripes, all that crap. I gotta get off the train, I'm gonna sneak home. I stepped onto the to get off the train, looking down, there's my mother and dad looking up at me. I thought I could sneak home. But to come to find out, the newspapers was telling all the people was coming home and when, and I imagine my folks was every morning they was coming to meet the train. Big smile, so happy to see me. God, thought it ruined my day. I wanted to sneak home. But I don't know how many days I've been there waiting, looking. There I was standing there looking down. Oh, crying. Big smile, so happy, so proud. you're faded.
Wow. Can you tell us about that revolver, sir?
Well,